think we're live. I don't know if we're live. I just see a spinning circle, but you probably see me talking about a spinning circle. But we shall see. I'm waiting for the circle to stop spinning before I start the show. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know if I'm live. I hate when this happens. There it is. And I've been live for a whole minute. All right, cool. So we are live. We are live. I had some weird stuff going on my screen. It was just one big spinning circle, like I had Plantation Wireless or some stuff. Pay for the highest top speed internet, but my stuff don't start properly. But anyway, we are live, so let's get ready to go. Let's strap on in. Let's strap on in. RM said, "We see you. You are live." Okay, so I was indeed live all that time when y'all saw my confused face. But all right, let's get into this. A while back on my show, there was been discussions about, and it's been a lot of discussions like that, you know, going on more or less in the male space, where some people have theorized that men should change their gender on paper and take advantage of some female and incentives and whatnot, female incentives and initiatives and quotas and all of that. And it was a funny idea. It was a funny idea, but some men actually did it at a women's tech conference. At a women's tech conference, specifically the what was the name of it? Okay, now I can't even think of the name of the conference. It don't matter. I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that. The Grace Hopper conference. It was invaded by men who identified on paper as non-binary. When they filled out the forms to come, it said non-binary as an option. It was for women and non-binary people. And so a bunch of men filled it out as non-binary. And everybody got upset. But I think they were upset more or less at the wrong people. They should have been upset at themselves for playing along with all of those different terms of gender and all of that. That's who they should have been upset with. So they're pinning the tail on the wrong donkey, in my opinion. But we about to get into this. I'm still rolling the intro, even though it started slow and had a weird hiccup. But let's get ready to go. Let's strap on in. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right, what's up and what's going on, everybody? We've done so much with so little for so long. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Shout out to Machismo TV. Shout out to Salty Balls and Machismo TV. Make sure you go and subscribe. Make sure you go and subscribe over there. And we about to get into this. This was a story that came across my desk. I had to look into it. I had to hop on it, and to put it mildly, this bad boy is interesting. But shout out to everybody in the building. Real quick, let me do some quick shout outs for those of you that made it in bright and early before we even got started. Shout out to Domino King. Shout out to Dreddy Bean. Shout out to Aaron B. Shout out to RW. Says this should be good. Shout out to D-Rock Den. Shout out to Dreddy Bean once again. You said might as well. I like how you spelled that, might as well. Shout out to you. Shout out to No Country for Old Simps. Shout out to you. Shout out to Holding My Nuts. Says 9 a.m. Bernie is what they call him now. No, they don't. Not today. I was late today. I mean, I was shooting for 9 a.m. I set it at 9:10 and I didn't go live until like 9:20 something. So there's that. So, you know, do what you will with that. But shout out to Little Rock 2517. Shout out to Hood Servative. Says life is so weird these days. Yeah, indeed it is. Shout out to Mike Evans President. He says, us at the Black Delegation regret to inform you that your CPT card has been terminated. Yeah. I couldn't keep the streak going. But there's always tomorrow. Chocolate Bunny in the building says, RM Bernard chat. Good morning, all. Absolutely. Good morning to you. Get a couple more in before we get going. These Zest Rangers are utterly ridiculous. OGPI says equality. And Cold Steel says only women are allowed to take advantage of political correctness. That right there is a hell of a point. That right there is a hell of a point. Because I mean, look, it said non-binary. Like they put it on there. So if a woman showed up who was non-binary, no problem. A bunch of men show up who are non-binary, problem. And if it's for women, that's an interesting question. Does non-binary, okay. It's for women. All right. Now, if a trans man showed, see, they put that in there for trans men. And the definition is the wording is confusing practically on purpose. The trans man is the biologically born female. So they didn't want to say it's for women only, and then now that biologically born female who identifies as a male is going to be like, wait, so you're excluding me. So they got to put non-binary on there to basically say that women who are biologically born women who still identify as women are obviously welcome to come. But the biologically born women who identify as men are welcome to come. But the biologically born men who identify as women are apparently not welcome to come. That's more or less what it was if you really break it down. And then a lot of their rhetoric, it backfires on itself. It backfires on itself drastically because just the simple fact that y'all set up these rules. Y'all set up these parameters. Y'all got us in this weird upside down clown world that you don't get mad when somebody works within the framework, the whole schema that you set up, where there's somehow no difference between male and female. But let's get into it. But before we get all the way into it, shout out to Chocolate Bunny coming through off the top ropes with the first super chat. Appreciate you for
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
Appreciate you for dropping $10 on it. Do appreciate that. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. Let's get into it. Now where are we starting off here? Let's see. I got a few things to dig into. Hold on. Yep, that's where we're starting right here. At least I think.
Hold up.
That's definitely where we're starting. So let me pull this up. Let me get this pulled up and ready to go. Oh, I hate the way that look. I should have up. Well, oh well. It look how it look. Let me see if I can make that look better. Nope. All right, we'll go with something like this. Whatever. I like for that to look a little better. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hold on. I'm having some technical issues. Hold on. I'm trying to fix something.
Hold up.
All right, that I had to do. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, this is the original. First off, let's get that off of the screen. Let's move that down, that banner off the screen. There we go. All right, let's go. Here it is. I apologize. Hold on. I had background noise in the back that I didn't know where it was coming from. Y'all couldn't hear it, but I could hear it, and it was driving me crazy. All right, I got rid of it. All right, let's go.
Career conference for females in tech was taken over by male attendees.
They were there just purely for the career fair.
Social media clips filmed at the Grace Hopper, the world's largest gathering of women technologists, show men standing in line to meet with recruiters.
This is a space for women in tech. This is one of those few limited resources that isn't for you, it's for us.
Some of the male attendees.
You're barking up the wrong tree. You just flat out are barking up the wrong tree. The tree that you should be barking up is the overall general weirdness of the ideology of ideas and ideologies that you support that ultimately led to this. It's so to try to say this is for women, it is not for you, but then turn around in another breath and passionately argue that men could be women and men can have babies and trans women are women and this or that or blah, blah, blah. It's like, what do you ultimately expect? What do you expect? And where's that same energy? Because I'm pretty sure that they're going to say in another breath, they'll say trans women are women and they should be competing in sports. So it's like, what do you do with that?
Attendees reportedly lied about being non-binary just to get in. The male attendees.
It's for us.
Some of the male attendees reportedly lied about being non-binary just to get in.
Whoa. that's transphobic. Did y'all hear what he just did? He's telling them that they can't be women. Per the paradigm that they set up, that was a transphobic statement. How do you know that they lied? You got to explain that one. How do you know that these men lied?
Reportedly lied about being non-binary. Some of the male attendees reportedly lied about being non-binary just to get in.
But it's interesting that the large majority of the people that actually ended up in the event had name tags with he, him, and have no searchable history of identifying as non-binary.
Several tech workers defended the men for...
That doesn't work. Trans people are marginalized in this society, and everybody doesn't want to be out of the closet. These brave, courageous trans people, these brave, courageous, non-binary people, decided to, for an opportunity to advance their career, they decided to go ahead and step out there and stand up and be counted as who they are, their true self and identity. So just because they're not, posting rainbows on social media every day, you can't then say that they're not trans. You can't say that they're not non-binary. You can't say that. Because when anybody else says that, whenever anybody else tries to say that somebody is not a gender opposite from their clear anatomy, they're transphobe, they're homophobe, they're every modern slander imaginable. So what and why now? It's almost like for some of them, they're the woke part of them that makes them fight and argue on behalf of feminists and women is what's making them come against the trans. Like I see that they're going to eat themselves eventually. They're going to eat themselves because they're going to realize that there's an encroachment on the women who they also swore to protect. But they want to protect trans rights too. But the trans rights are encroaching on women's stuff. And then that's where you're going to see like a dual snowflake battle. Like that's what we saw when Neil deGrasse Tyson was debating those one guys on the show Trigonometry. That's what you're going to start seeing.
For trying to capitalize on job opportunities not meant for them, seeing that the entire concept was wrong.
Let's be honest, there is no need for a conference just for women, because if it was the opposite, just for men, then it would be sexist. Just because you are a woman doesn't give you the right to talk to a big firm recruiter. Guys work just as hard and they don't get that chance.
That tech space is very competitive. There's a lot of men who get, they get the credentials. It's still hard to get a job. It's still hard to get a good job. It's competitive. It's a fight. It's a fight even amongst the men who dominate the space. And some people get left out. Some people don't make it. Some people don't make the cut. You got to fight and scrap for every inch. So, men are going to fight and scrap for every inch. And they do all of this stuff. They try to get more women in tech and more women this and get women in STEAM and get women in it. And a lot of women they're not interested in it. But there's quotas that got to be met. Like we got to get an X number of women in there. Sometimes it's harder to even fill those women positions so hey, the men are saying that per the current paradigm that was set up by people with your ideology, I'm a woman. That's what happened there. That's what the hell happened there. Right, they asked for this. They definitely asked for this. But that's what the hell is going on. I've been listening to some interesting stuff lately. I may play some of it. I didn't want to do it. It's a woman whose name I can't remember. She wrote a really good book on all of this stuff, on all the trans stuff. She got interviewed by Jordan Peterson, Richard Dawkins, and a lot of people. But, they take a lot of her, some of her shit. People got deplatformed for having her on there because apparently her book was too damn good. Apparently her book was too damn good, and she just debunking so much shit that they just that they trying to pull the cancel job on her. But let me I want to pull up some comments from the video that we just watched. These are just posts or screenshots from it. Why am I seeing so many men at Grace Hopper? We can't have anything. Nah, you wanted trans stuff. You wanted the non-binaries. Y'all put it. Y'all put it on there. Y'all literally put it on there. Women and non-binary. You put it on there. Said it's fucked up. Some men are suddenly fake identifying with she, her pronouns to go to Grace Hopper because they can't find jobs otherwise. That's very insensitive because they can't find jobs otherwise. I mean, you see the level of concern for men having a hard time finding a job. The men who want to, those men there look like men who just can't wait to get a good job and marry a woman and take care of her. These losers can't find a job, so they're trying to come. Okay, woman, all right. But anyway, because they can't find jobs otherwise, and at the same time, be blatantly opposing people genuinely transitioning. You don't know the ideology of those men that was there. You really don't. There's an element of it there's an element of gotcha bitch trolling with showing up with the pronouns on there, even though you better not say that they're not trans, because that's that could be that's interpreted as a slanderous as hate speech. I almost said a hate crime. That could be interpreted as hate speech. So you better not tell them that they're not. But the fact of the matter is, those guys showing up there, you don't know their ideology. Don't lump them in with Ben Shapiro. All right. They showed up for opportunity, taking advantage of a loophole in the system that you ultimately created. That's what's happening. You don't know if they're against people just genuinely transitioning to what is genuinely transitioning? That's just somebody just saying, hey, I identify as a woman. You don't got to get surgeries to do it. You just got to announce that you identify as something else. That's normally good enough. Now, there are people that go through the whole process of doing all kinds of hormonal stuff to do their thing, and there's a smaller percentage of people that actually get a surgery. There are people that do that. That's a certain level of commitment, but for the most part, all you can do is just announce it. So if all you got to do is just announce it, then they're against people genuinely transitioning. Like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? But anyway, it says you want to identify as she, he, be fully. Oh wait, that's a picture. Okay, nope, I can't. I tried to click on that, and it was a picture. God damn it. All right, what else somebody say? The Grace Hopper Conference is specifically aimed at women in tech, and there are recruiters there in order to push for more hiring of women in these fields. It's been overrun by men buying tickets. I fucking hate these That is so transphobic. Look at how she talking. That's the language that people use against the trans people. I fucking hate these freaks. That's very hateful. That is very hateful of you. That is hate speech. That is hate speech. Like, no. It's like with they. Anyway, I'm move on. It was so bad at the convention that the organizer CEO spoke about it at the convention. Okay, see, I had this video queued up, ready to go, but it just happened to be in this chain of. Okay, so This was the next one that I was going to watch anyway. Wait a minute. This whole time I've been sitting here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait. No, that's black. All right. Hold on. All right.
This is supposed to be a joyous event that centers around you. Yesterday, it became clear that there are a far greater number of cisgender men attending than we anticipated.
How do you know? How do you know?
Simply put, some of you lied about your gender identity when you registered.
I can just barely hear him. Let me see if my other copy of it is got better audio. Yeah, let me back out of this one real quick. I can just barely hear this dude. Not there. Where are we at though? Hold on. All right, there we go. That might be it right here. What the hell? Okay, this is the same video. Okay, it's the same video. So nope, it ain't gonna be no better. All right, I could barely hear him, but this is the organizer, director of the event. You know, speaking. Yeah, they had to address the issue. So many men showed up.
And as evidence by the stacks and stacks of resumes you're passing out, you did so because you thought that you could come here and take space to try to get a job. We need male allies. We need men who want to celebrate women, who want to work with and for women. And so,
we need male allies, men who want to work with and for women. If you would have just said men who want to work with women, it wouldn't have been a clap. But that work for women, that got the applause. Want to know what's funny? And it was a video. I didn't even really watch. I didn't do no content on it. I kind of just scanned it. It was a video that went, kind of viral of some woman talking about how, more liberal, left-leaning, feminist women, they actually want conservative men. They're actually attracted, like the male feminist types, like this dude right there. It just dries their pussy up. Like they don't want to be with this. Even though they're going to clap, they're going to praise him. And he's somebody in a high position and the whole works. But it's like they don't want nothing to do with men like that. They just want to give him a pat on the head, praise him, Hercules, when he get up there and say stuff like that for them. But other than that, he's basically one of the Unsullied in Game of Thrones. Like that's what he is. He's their community eunuch. The concept that was came out of this space. That's Obsidian's concept all day. He's the woke liberal feminist white woman's version of the community eunuch who just gets up there and says everything that they want to hear and does everything the right way, and they clap and cheer and pat them on the head, and after that go away, and then they leave from that conference and they go fuck some toxic dude. It's like that's the things I see when I hear guys like him talking and women clapping to what he's saying. Just observations.
and so we welcome men in this space, but to learn and support and improve. Unfortunately, some of you took discounted academic tickets from women who need them. Some of you are taking interview slots right now while this plenary is going on for women who need them. Some of you are standing in line to talk to recruiters instead of letting women speak. All of those are limited resources to which you have no right. Stop. Right now, stop.
All right. I haven't seen the comments. He said, in response to what happened, the organizers released a video. Many of you feeling unsafe physically and psychologically, and you're feeling unheard. This is the other chick. She was kind of boring, but she was more or less saying the same thing. This is another one of the organizers of the events, I guess, because they had a man speaking on behalf of the women's events. They had to find one of the women high up and have her speak on it. She didn't really say a whole lot that mattered, you know. So no need to even fool around with that. But all right. I do want to pull something out here. Now, what I'm about to show right now, I honestly don't even know if this is true. Because this woman is about to say some really, really harsh stuff. And I mean some really, really harsh stuff. And I don't even know how accurate this is. But this is a woman speaking about women in tech. Just giving her, this is just one person's opinion. I have no idea how accurate her opinion is. But in the stream of, things that I was finding when I was, more or less looking this up, that is what I came with. That's what I found. That's what was unearthed. Let me do this like that. Yeah, that look better. All right. This is her honest view. This is just one woman's opinion of women in tech.
The whole thing is, girls are usually quite lazy. They're just not that good programmers. Sorry, but that's true, honestly. They just don't want to get their hands dirty to do the job. And when I tried to do some recruiting, I intentionally wanted to recruit women. And at the end, I failed to do so. Do you want to know why?
Hold on, let's back it up. Let's back it up.
Girls are usually quite lazy. They're just not that good programmers. Sorry, but that's...
She's saying they're just not that good programmers. Now, it's very possible, based off everything that I understand about, one, differences in male and female, one, just overall bell curve distribution of certain things. It's very possible that women, even though, there are plenty of women with high IQs that are good at, things that they're good at when they get in the right field, but there are certain things that even the women that have the passion and motivation to do it, some of them don't have the aptitude to do it. And then when they start doing all of this over the top, trying to push women into certain things that they may not have the personal aptitude for, it ends up in a situation where they're underperforming at something. They're smart and there's things that they can do and do well at, but they're underperforming at this thing that they were pushed to do, that they didn't have a personal, individual driven passion to do, or maybe they had passion to do it, but they just wasn't good at it. But the whole paradigm of, hey, you could do anything, you could do it. We need more women in tech. Let's force it down. Let's try to throw them out, and then and they fail at it. They fall short. That is a thing. And I think she's shorthanded it, saying, these bitches just lazy, but or just not good programmers. I think it's probably fair to say that some of them are not good programmers, but I don't know if it's just, hoes be lazy. I don't know, but that's, she's saying she's like being the most rude, polite person I ever heard. She's very harsh, but still kind of polite with it.
They're just not that good programmers. Sorry, but that's true, honestly. They just don't want to get their hands dirty to do the job. And when I tried to do some recruiting, I intentionally wanted to recruit women. And at the end, I failed to do so. Do you want to know why? Because most of those girls were usually just cheating, and they were just not good programmers. At the end, I had to recruit boys. And that's why I think the whole talk about let's recruit more women is bad, because at the end you're recruiting worse programmers. At the end, your company is going to suffer. You're gonna lose some money. I know it's trendy.
They're looking like, who the fuck let her in here? Where's Kanye when you need him?
I know it's trendy to talk about women in IT, but I think women should just start studying more and getting. The whole thing is.
Yeah, that she was brutally harsh, but just seemed so polite with it. Man, I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know. I you know, the level the level of harshness with that was just through the roof. But just came off as so pleasant. Really did come off as pleasant. But what else we got in here? Hold up. Let's pull up an article that has more details. And let's go here. Pull up an article that has more details on the event where men took over. Fury as Women in Tech conference is overrun with men claiming to be non-binary who cut in front of female attendees to network with employers. Says no BC. I don't know what that BC means. Why am I competing with men at the Grace Hopper conference? Female job seekers at a Women in Tech conference have reacted with fury after a number of men crashed the networking event. No, they signed up as non-binaries for women and non-binary. You must accept somebody's non-binariness or you're being transphobic in some way. They showed up as non-binary. Maybe you need to tighten up the rules and regulations and schema of who's a woman, and then you could adequately manage who comes and who doesn't come. You would do a better job at excluding. You would do a better job at excluding while trying to reach out and provide opportunity for those that were excluded. Isn't that like a weird thing where the people who are fighting for inclusion, in order for them to get their inclusion, they have to do a good job at excluding, and when they do that good job at excluding, they become the patriarchal bastards that they complain about. Female job seekers at a Women in Tech conference have reacted with fury after a number of men crashed the networking event, seemingly taking advantage of the acceptance of non-binary people. And as Cole Steele pointed out earlier, they want non-binary people there, but you could only be a non-binary woman identifying as a man. And if they say that trans men are men, that means that biological woman is a man. So you're okay with men being there as long as they were first born as a biological woman. The second that you say that, you've admitted that your whole concept is faulty, because you're playing the exclusion game based off biological born sex anatomy, ovaries, and uteruses. Once you do that, then you've lost the discussion. You've lost the debate. It's over. Because now you're excluding or dividing people up based off who has a uterus and who don't. Now, if you're not doing that, then shut the fuck up and don't say nothing when men show up with dick and balls, saying that they're women. The scandal erupted at Grace Hopper celebration of Women Computing in Orlando, Florida, which is among the most lucrative job finding conventions for young female professionals to meet major tech firms, often right out of college. Yeah, all those 60% women on college campus. I forgot what the graduate rate is. Women are kicking ass and taking names, but also disenfranchised and not given opportunities, even though the whole educational system is more structured in a way that's beneficial and palatable to them. Clearly, clearly y'all not singing "We Shall Overcome" anymore. Y'all are singing "We Have Overcame." Y'all are doing good. But in order to maintain doing good, or to do even better, or to even gain more power, what do you have to do? You have to play the exclusionary game 10 times harder than the men who you accuse of excluding. Which means that there's no right or wrong in this from one perspective, or it's not really a right or wrong. It's a fight for power. We have to basically be dicks and play this whole game of power. The thing that we claim the patriarchy has done, we have to do it and do it better. It's like, that's clearly what's going on here. But OGPI in the building says, is he going to refund their tickets though, since they were so aggrieved? Yeah, you got a good point there. I'm assuming you had to. Well, I mean, I don't know if you had to pay to get to do it. I don't know if it was a paid event. I don't know how that works. So, but yeah, no. Excuse me. Appreciate you for putting 5 on it. But if they paid, then yeah. They paid, then yeah, give me my money back. Give me my money back if you're not accepting people. If you're not accepting people like me, yeah, I want my money back. All right. But this year's summit, held from September 26th to 29th, was swarmed with men. I like how they using words like swarmed, invaded, taken over, was stormed. Was swarmed with men also looking to land big interviews with firms including Amazon, Apple, and Google. Can you knock them? You got to fight. You got to get it. The reason many were welcomed appeared to be the women. The reason many were welcomed appeared to be the women's event, allowing non-binary individuals to also attend, sparking anger among women, feeling the move was a shameless attempt to take advantage of gender diversity programs. No, just acknowledge there's a flaw in the system of the gender diversity programs. Just say women. Just call it women. Call it women. Says no, because why am I competing with? Okay, I already read that. This is like set up so weirdly. Footage from the Women in Tech conference shows numerous men also in attendance, seemingly taking advantage of vague rules around the attendance being non-binary. They're making memes about it. When you're in line, to network with a recruiter at GHC, that's the Grace Hopper conference, and men cut in front of you. Oh, so sad, so sad. Female attendees were quick to show their distaste at the men showing up at the women's event, with even claiming they cut in lines and shoved other guests. Now, that part is a damn lie. I do believe that the men showed up. I do believe that they put non-binary on their shit, and I do believe they did that I think it was less to make a political point and more to let me try to get this damn job. But I don't think that they all of a sudden see that shows part of what they think about men. That they think it's even plausible to think that they're going to show up at the event and just start pushing and shoving women. Like, that is so unplausible. Like that, no, they didn't show up doing that. they're trying to make what they did out to be more heinous than what it was. What they did, within the paradigm that, okay, let's say, even though you're not supposed to say that they're not really trans, even though you're not supposed to say that they're not really non-binary, but even within the parameters of everything that they set up, even within those parameters, you could make a case, if you accept their paradigm, you can make a case that the men did something wrong. But my assumption is that they don't like that argument as much. They don't feel as confident in that particular argument. They feel far more confident. I mean, they have to be able to really charge the men up. They got to say that they didn't just cheat the system and just and fill out something on a piece of paper. No, they were rude. They were pushing us. They were shoving us, and they pushed us into the broom closet and groped us. It's like that. That's low key what they're trying to trump up the charges to, as if they came there as vicious predators. But they don't mind the potential predator when that same man is not that same man, but when a man operating, under the guise of, being non-binary or trans is in a girl's locker room or bathroom or whatever. Like, those are the places where it should, or where it should matter to ya. We can put little girls at risk of some guy pulling out his hairy dick and balls in a locker room. But a guy coming there about to potentially take my 6-figure job, we won't stand for this trans bullshit. Like listen, like that's where the levels of hypocrisy and nonsense is at with this. Furious attendees took to social media to slam the men for gate crashing. Remember I said they're using those harsh words. They stormed it like Helm's Deep. Okay. Furious attendees took to social media to slam the men for gate crashing the women's event. However, some pointed the finger at vague benchmarks for entering the summit, as men could simply identify as non-binary. This was acknowledged by Cullen White, the chief impact officer, which hosts the conference, as he took to the stage to address the audience at the end of the event, saying, simply put, some of you lied. How do you know they lied? That's wrong. That's transphobic. Do not say that those men trans women are women. God damn it. Get out of it. Don't do that. You're being a bigot. Okay. Some of you lied about your gender identity when you registered. Mamantha? Wow, that's a weird name. Mamantha J, an attendee who condemned the event on LinkedIn, said she was really looking forward to the forum before realizing it was not what she expected. As a woman who has experienced oh my goodness. It says patriarchic. I've never seen that word. She could have said patriarchal dominance. I guess that makes it more impactful when she says patriarchic dominance in the tech industry. I refer back to what that one woman said when she was trying to recruit and hire women. She just said that a lot of the women suck. That was just, I mean, I don't know if what she's saying is true, but those are the words that came out of her mouth. She says, I hope the convention would provide a fair chance for me to connect with potential employers, she said. Alongside complaints about long lines and exhausted recruiters, she said she witnessed a significant number of cis men. How do you know they were cis men? Cis men allies taking opportunities meant for women and non-binary. How do you know they're not non-binary? How do you know? A concerning trend that seemed unaddressed by event organizers. That it saddens me to see all those cis men attending. How do you know they were cis? And misrepresenting their gender. How do you know they was misrepresenting it? You don't know that. We need male allies. We need men who want to celebrate women, who want to work with and for women. Thank you. Okay, that was a statement that was already said there. So yeah. That's the article. That's the article. Let me back up out of this joint. But that is wild. And it's not starring the super. Y'all hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. It's not starring the super. If it was any, oh yeah, okay. If it was, I'm trying to see if it was any super chats that came through, because I can't see them starred or saved or anything right there. But this was wild, and again, it's interesting. It's interesting because we covered this on the show. The whole notion, the idea of men starting to do this to take advantage of opportunities that, that are available for women. Take advantage of those opportunities. It's a dog eat dog world out there. You got to get out there and compete. They're clearly being vicious with it. Get out there and do ultimately what amounts to the same damn thing. Get out there and do the same damn thing. But all right. Let me see what else we got on this one. Hold on. Hold up. Where we at? No, that's not it.
Hold up.
All right.
Right, so this is my hotel room.
I hope that gay strip club music is not copyrighted.
Since 2023, Google sent me out as part of YouTube data for trust and safety, and I was luckily able to go and giving of me like coming into my hotel, for example.
I haven't actually seen this one all the way through. I know she's going to talk about the men being there, but apologies, I don't know exactly
how
where.
the venue looked like.
God damn. That's like the Million Indian March. What the fuck is like? It's a lot of people at that damn thing. That was wrong. It did. I mean, it do be a lot of Indians or Asians of some variety there. They're talking about women opportunities, but y'all don't give a fuck. Damn Asians don't give a fuck about all the all the non-Asians that are there. Like I wonder what happened if just to get overrun by black, white, and Mexican girls. They'd be like, wait, hold the fuck on now. This ain't for y'all. What kind of quotas we got in place now? This is a goddamn Asian event. What the fuck y'all doing here? I bet they'll be like that.
Was that this was apparently the biggest GHC has ever been. A lot of students lining up for the career fair. I didn't take footage of this, but when people were allowed to go in to the career fair, people were running and people were shoving. So that in itself was kind of a mess, kind of psychotic. Apparently cops had to get called in on the second day and third day just to mitigate people running, people shoving.
Okay, now the shoving that was going on, see, they tried to charge men up with just the shoving. Now that I see that wide shot, I see it was, I mean, that had to be a free event. It was so many people there, and that if that was a line, then yeah, I understand why it was I understand why shoving was being what was happening there. But they want to specifically focus in on the men were shoving, or everybody was shoving in line to try to get through. but men are stronger than women, so their shove was probably a little harder. That's probably all that happened.
And then another thing I noticed as well was during the career fair. So I went inside just to take a look at the different booths available and how the general vibe was. And there are a lot of cisgendered males at this conference, which is quite interesting. And so I get it in the sense of like, you come here as an ally, completely fine. But for a women tech conference where the whole message and the whole purpose of this conference is
let's examine the term ally. Black people use that term when it's a white person who's working for the cause or betterment of Black people. They use the term ally. That's an ally. That's somebody who's on our side. But if that person is an ally, that means that white people, and then in the black-white dynamic, if a white person helping the general cause of Black people, that person is an ally, then that means that the rest of white people are your enemy combatants. So if a man who's supportive of this women's tech conference is your ally, like by definition, if we just stay with the same schema, the same paradigm, the same language, it's basically they're saying that okay, men are our enemy combatants. They're a rival regime. They're the opposing force. They're the enemy. So once you acknowledge that men are your enemy, and the men who support the women tech conference, those are your allies, and that means the other men who don't support it are your enemies that you're at war with, then it's then it's almost like you've basically declared that this is war. And then so quit clutching your pearls when the person that you've stated is your enemy combatant shows up to fight. It's like don't snowflake about it. You've declared the language you've used is a language of war, and this is our enemy. This is our combatant. The men that help us are our allies on our side in this war against the rest of men. So it's almost like per your language, it's like it is what it is. Deal with it.
Is to help enable women feel more comfortable, feel more safe in order to network in an already male-dominated environment where it's already hard enough to sort of break out of your shell and compete against these men where it's a male-dominated field, right? It was interesting because they were dressed up in suits where it's already hard enough in order to network in an already male-dominated environment where it's already hard enough to sort of break out of your shell and compete against these men where it's a male-dominated field, right? It was interesting because they were dressed up in suits, and it was clear that all they wanted to do was try to take interview spots or get like referrals in a sense. Like I went to talks I went to career session talks, I went to networking sessions, I went to learning labs, for example, and there were no men in there. The only men that I saw were at the career fair. Like, of course, in this case, I can't judge her in the sense of like, if you're non-binary, perfect. This is a perfect conference for you, for example. But if you're a cisgendered male and you're coming here to, like, in a sense, just get a job interview and try to like get a referral in that case, you're at the wrong conference. And I agree in the sense that like GHC and Anita B can't ban males from attending entirely. Like I think that's wrong, but I do think it is also wrong for a guy to come in here that really doesn't care about women equality in a sense in this workforce. Like for example, my team.
She said so much there. I had to let it keep going, but that was a mouthful when she was saying men are welcome, and she understood the contradiction or just the problem with saying that somebody is not what they're claiming that they are, because in any other context other than you trying to get a financial come up, that person is who they say they are. But in this situation, no, we got to push back. They aren't what they're claiming that they are. But if you really are, then it's okay. But if you're not, then they're running into that problem.
It's only 2 other women on a team where it's predominantly like 17 dudes. And it's clear in the sense of like even in college, like my upper division system programming class had basically I was partners with one other girl in my project group, but the entire discussion were just guys. And like if you miss class, people would know if you miss class. And so super male dominated field, it's kind of intimidating to try to compete against everyone else and feel comfortable in your own shoes, that you pick the right field, right? And so that's one problem that's been lingering for many years ever since, or in any engineering field, not just software engineering. And it's kind of hard for like college students to see that and to, well, not see that. I mean, they can definitely see that, but it's kind of hard for them to break out of their shell and feel comfortable just kind of like fighting for their own shot at like getting a job, getting an internship. Like I remember when I went to career fairs, I never went to GHC, by the way, when I was in college. I went to career fairs like at my university. And those also male dominated, but no one complained about guys and girls attending those, right? Like those are just general career fairs. It makes sense in this case for people to complain about guys attending a women tech conference where the whole purpose is to help out minority women, to like help them.
Jordan Turner, you said intimidated. That is a interesting term. That's an interesting term. Like I don't get. It's almost like if you walk into an arena, an area or something, it's okay. What you have to do, what you have to accomplish, you're going into some engineering or tech field or IT field or something like that. It's like if you're smart enough to do it and you do your best and the work that you do is sufficient, then it's sufficient. So just saying that there were men around in the room. There was mostly men in the room. It's a odd thing to feel intimidated. It's an odd thing to feel intimidated because that's a roundabout way of saying that these men are better. That's a roundabout way of her saying these men are better than her, or it's more or less a way of, it's like I'm trying to figure out a way to where it's not as if she's practically saying that we need to make it to where we can do this, but all of our colleagues have to be women, so we don't feel some type of way. I mean, it's a stupid thing because the reality is she may very well be smart enough to when she's in there, she's in the middle of the pack. If it's 17 people, she's probably right in the middle. She's probably number 8. Well, guess what? There's a man in there who's I've 1 through 17. He's at the bottom. He's 17. He's 16. He's 13, 14, or 15. You feel intimidated? He feel intimidated. He got to do his best. You got to do your best. It's like that's where it just gets into just stupid word salad language about fields, about your your fifis, your feelings in an area where what you produce is paramount, is what makes the whole difference on whether or not you're allowed to be there or not be there, whether you're sufficient or insufficient. So talking about your feelings is like seems like part of the reason why you don't do as well as men with it, because y'all bringing y'all emotions into something that's by default unemotional. Like
them get a right chance and right shot at potential internship or networking. Like I met so many people, for example, at the community lounges, which by the way, I love the community lounges. I went to the San Diego one since I'm born and raised in San Diego. met this cool girl that worked at Northrop, for example, and I usually worked at Northrop, and we connected. And yeah, like connecting with all of them at like on LinkedIn and in person was amazing, just to hear their stories. And then also was able to attend like this YouTuber dinner see as well, and different teams.
Okay. Mostly women there. I'm sure she feels safe.
So I don't know them, but I was able to meet them through this conference. And so that was the people that also worked in Mountain View, like Zurich, for example, people that worked in San Bruno, but people that also worked in Mountain View. So it's super cool meeting them and seeing what their experiences have been as well. And then also attended some private events. Like I went to other during overall. I had a great time in terms of like.
All right, it's not like she's done talking about the whole male female aspect of it and men taking
the networking sessions and the talks that were.
But all right,
given. But they definitely need to improve the career fair and the expo and how to handle that. To be honest, not quite sure what the solution should be for helping, in this case, women feel heard in the sense of like, if you're at a women's conference, you shouldn't have to worry about a guy taking your spot, right? And so that's an interesting subject in that sense. I do think maybe potentially like guys' tickets can cost more, women tickets can cost less or something. Not sure, but
this ain't the goddamn club. What the fuck? Women get in free before 11. What kind of shit she trying to do at a damn tech conference? Oh my goodness. Women ticket can cost less, men ticket can cost more, but though as long as you're allowing non-binary, they can identify as non-binary and they can pay the female and the non-binary fee. Or then you're going to run into the problem of charging non-binary people. Or they could just be just be very exclusionary in their language and say, but they don't got the balls to do this, pun intended. They could say that women and biologically born women who identify as males can come. If they do that, then they gotta clutch their pearls and cry a little bit, because trans women are women, per their argument. Trans women are women, and so they're excluding biologically born males who identify as women. So it's just going to be exclusionary altogether. And so it's no way around that. And that's what happens when you try to jerry rig gender in some kind of weird way. Those are the problems that you run into. It's no way around that. And that's more or less what's going on there. But shout out to Sir Anthony. Shout out to Sir Anthony. Do appreciate you. He says, salute to the men that are using these tools to their advantage. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for putting 5 on it. Do appreciate that. But all right. We probably going to do a short one today. Because that's more or less all I got on this. I got some other shit I should show, but this chick who wrote this book on the whole trans thing, yeah, me and Zero did a show on this back in the day. But the chick who wrote a book on this, on the whole trans thing, when she go on somebody's show, they get demonetized because she is just kicking too much ass. But I'll point y'all in that direction, actually. Before I get up out of here, I will point y'all in that direction. I'm trying to remember this chick's name. Hold on. Hold up. She got interviewed by Dawkins. And Dawkins, hold up. Richard Dawkins is, a famous, public educator of science, in the same vein as Neil deGrasse Tyson. There's a lot of videos of him and Neil deGrasse Tyson on stage together. They bros. They homies. They brothers in arms when it comes to science. And Richard Dawkins ain't going on this shit because he's a biologist, and he's like, there's two sexes, there's two genders. It's no other way around that from a biological standpoint. He said it's just a bastardization of just language, not just biology, just language. So Richard Dawkins definitely holding his ground on that. But the person that he interviewed, her name is Helen Joyce. I'm looking it up right now. I ain't even about to play her shit because, she be getting people demonetized because she just be breaking down so many facts about they stuff. But god damn it, my phone going off.
Hold up.
I do recommend that. I'll put the link in the chat for that. Hold on. I was going to make that be the second part of the show today, but but I'm like, hell no, fuck that. She be getting people demonetized. But there's that. That's the link right there. But all right, we about to get up out of here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on through, everybody supported the stream, everybody who liked, shared, subscribed, did anything in any way to support the show. I appreciate you. And with that said, special thanks and shout out to Machismo TV.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
And yes, we out of here quick, no panel. We'll probably do a panel on the next one. Okay, so wait, hold on, what's the day? Damn, today Thursday. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow. We will do a Friday panel. But all right, but with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.